Hi everyone, it's Helen here. So I posted on Instagram on Monday to ask my followers if I should do a Q&A video, and if so, what questions should I be answering? Many questions came up, and to my surprise, many of you asked very similar questions like: Hi chị có thể chia sẻ niềm đam mê nấu ăn này bắt đầu từ đâu và cơ duyên nào đưa chị đến với công việc là một food blogger? Or, hi Helen, I want to know how did you fall in love with cooking and the way you create your own recipes? Or, when your passion for food started? And how do you keep the balance between doing homework and producing video when you were in Germany? Well, though I have been 6 years on YouTube now, and I guess you guys still don't know me, or at least my story enough, so I decided to share with you a little bit more about myself. I was born and raised in Da Nang, a really beautiful beach city in central coast of Vietnam. None of my parents work in food or restaurant business. They are indeed teachers, and I did not go to culinary school either. As other kids growing up in the 90s, my younger sister and I didn't have smartphones or tablets to play with, so we played with each other. Paper dolls or village squares, you know. The Ô Ăn Quan or Ô Làng game is a traditional Vietnamese board game. We also play make-believe cooking games and other girly stuff. Our favorite was the miniature cooking games with an outdoor kitchen. We set up ourselves with 2 blocks of brick, and we used an empty condensed milk can as a cookware and collected sugarcane garbage as fuel and cooked our very first bowl of bún bò since then. Not many kids of our age were allowed to play this game because, you know, it could make a really big mess. But our mom encouraged us to do, of course under her supervision, because that has been her dream as a kid, but been forbidden by my grandma. I still remember the joy I had eating our first bowl of so much bún bò up to this date. My love for cooking started from there, and then growing up, I always enjoyed helping my mom in the kitchen, and when she was sick, I just took over her role to cook everyday meals for my family. I did not dream of being a chef though. It was teachers that was my dream job. After high school, I enrolled at the University of Education in Da Nang, following my parents' dream to become a university lecturer. And 1 year later, I applied for a scholarship to pursue a bachelor degree in Singapore. And luckily, the dream come true. I got the admission to go and study abroad in Singapore. It somehow changed my career plan from being a teacher to a marketer. And then after graduation, I worked a few years in Singapore to gain experience, and in 2008, I moved to Germany with no knowledge of German language to explore Europe and looking for a chance to further study with little budget. Thanks to the affordable German education system, after 3 years, I finished my German courses and completed the bilingual English-German master program in international business. During the years of studying abroad, I watched and followed quite a few cooking channels on YouTube, like Manchi, Cooking with Dog, to further explore other cuisine, and dream of developing such a channel dedicated to Vietnamese cooking one day. But a lot of things were holding me back. I didn't even have a proper kitchen, no camera equipment. I was afraid of the negative comments. I was worried that my cooking skills wasn't good enough. While I was writing my master thesis, I spent most of my days in the library, and in the evening, I returned to the shared student apartment and cooked my favorite Vietnamese dishes to release stress. You know, in northern Germany, the weather could be really depressing. And then a breakup with my ex added to the drama. So I decided to start filming what I cook with a very outdated borrowed camera and put on YouTube and Facebook to share with my friends. I hold the camera on one hand and shake the wok on the other. That's how my YouTube journey started. And to my great surprise, I received so many positive feedbacks from my friends for the first video, and then you guys, viewers from other parts of the world, come and show interest in my cooking and ask for more. And since then, I have been consistently producing 1 video per week on my channel to grow it as big as it is today. About the same time that I started my channel, my younger sister, Samale, she also started a blog called Da Nang Cuisine to promote and introduce the beauty of our hometown cuisine to international friends. I joined her and became the co-writer for the blog, and now it's become a website called danangcuisine.com. I posted all my written recipes on this website, and the website grabbed a lot of attention from the press and other media like the New York Times, the Hong Kong Weekly Magazine, and other international media. We sisters often mentioned as the unofficial ambassadors for Da Nang and Vietnamese cuisine. My mission is to bring Vietnamese food to the world, and with the marketing background of my education and my endless passion for cooking, I would love to promote Vietnamese cuisine in a more professional and international level in any way possible. I also strongly believe that Vietnamese cuisine will be the next big wave in the international food scene. And now, after 11 years living in Singapore and then Germany, in 2014, I decided to move back and live in Da Nang and settle my life here. And now, besides being a creator for Helen Recipe YouTube channel, which I consider my main job, I occasionally host cooking shows on the Asian Food Channel and on Vietnam television. And I also write cookbooks. And speaking of cookbook, check this out! This is the advance copy that I just received earlier this week. It looks so gorgeous. You can pre-order now on Amazon or other online bookstore worldwide. I put the links below. The book includes stunning photographs of both studio shots and on-location shots with me shopping, eating, and cooking in Da Nang and in my studio in my hometown. And the cookbook has over 190 pages showcasing 70 Vietnamese recipes with 60% focus on noodle recipes. When you go to a pho restaurant outside Vietnam, most of the time the menu would offer more than just noodle soup, right? There's also appetizers and sometimes a few options for sandwiches and of course some classic drinks and desserts. And this cookbook offers just that. With the main focus on pho and various noodle recipes, I also try to include more popular dishes you might find at Viet restaurants in the US, in Europe, or Australia. The first chapter guides you through all what needed to make a perfect bowl of pho, from the tunes, the broth, to the aroma and the noodles. You also learn the best tips to cook dry pho noodles as well as how to make fresh rice noodles from scratch. And guess how many pho recipes are there in this book? Not just one or two common with beef or chicken, but there's a total of 18 recipes with pho in the title. From pho with seafood to pho with roasted pork and even a vegan version of it. And there's also a long lost recipe from a legendary pho restaurant in Paris that I was lucky enough to get hold of. There are also many non-served versions from various parts of Vietnam that you probably have never heard of. Each recipe comes with many shopping and cooking tips to help you sort out the right ingredients and acquire a higher chance of success. Some of you asked if the recipes are the same as in my previous self-published cookbook, and the answer is 80% of the recipes are not in my previous cookbook, and the 20% overlapping recipes are also with improvements. All the photos and print qualities are so much better because this book is made by the professionals, and better yet, the price is lower. It's retailed for $25 US, but I think if you pre-order it now on Amazon, it just costs $17. Some really cool backstory about how this book came about. If you know me well, I don't like reading cookbooks. I just love watching cooking videos because I'm kind of visual person. It's not until so many of you guys requested that I decided to self-publish my first cookbook titled Vietnamese Food with Helen's Recipes. And I didn't expect the huge amounts of work that's involved in publishing a cookbook, from recording recipe to taking photos, editing, finding designer, preparing layouts, sales and marketing, the list goes on. It took me so much time and effort in doing everything to make it happen that I almost swore to myself that I would not make any cookbook again, or at least anytime soon. Now a little bit off topic. Due to my obsession with Vietnamese food, my husband and I thought that it would be fun to name our kids after all the popular Vietnamese dishes like phở, bún, mì, miến, cháo, xôi, cơm. We're not sure how far we can go with that series, but at least we have started. So 1 month after the birth of my first child, Phở, I received an email from Janine, who is the editorial director at Quarto Publishing Group, saying that she came across my website and YouTube series while looking for a phở video recipe to make on her publisher potluck party. She was really impressed with my videos and recipes, and Janine later sent me a proposal for a Simply Pho cookbook, and she persuaded me to pursue it further. She promised that it would be a lot easier for me with this book than with the previous one because she has a whole strong team behind, and I fell for her words and then accepted her offer. The next day, I found myself cooking a huge pot of phở and recording the first recipe for this book. It's a really good way to fight postpartum depression. I will be giving away 5 copies of the Simply Pho cookbook, 3 to the lucky subscribers of my YouTube channel with a contest here on YouTube, and another 2 copies for the giveaway contest on my Instagram and Facebook page. To participate, just leave a comment below telling me why you want to have the book and your favorite 3-digit number. You must be a subscriber to this channel, of course, and please also follow me on Facebook and Instagram to take part in the other 2 giveaway contests to increase your chance of winning. Một tin vui nữa cho các tín đồ ẩm thực Việt là Helen cũng vừa mới ra mắt cuốn sách Xì xà xì sụp bằng tiếng Việt với nhà xuất bản Nhã Nam để chia sẻ những công thức nấu các món bún mì miến phở của Việt Nam. Mặc dù cũng có nhiều công thức tương tự như trong sách Simply Pho, nhưng đây là 2 cuốn sách khác nhau từ cách trình bày cho đến nội dung. Ưu điểm của cuốn này là có hình cụ thể cho từng bước làm và giá cũng rất là hạt dẻ, chỉ có 85.000 thôi. Sách hiện đang có bán ở các nhà sách và đường sách trên toàn quốc. Helen sẽ để link ở dưới nếu các bạn muốn mua online. I'm sure you're gonna love my new baby as much as I do, and thank you so much for all your support throughout all these years. It would not have been possible without you. Thank you so much, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.